Hello and welcome to another video. So today we're going to take a look at Alice Sword. Why? Because Sword is doing reasonably well, surprisingly. I actually had a fair bit of success with this deck, which I'm quite pleased with. So it does run a neutral package engine, a little different to the previous neutral package engines, but not too different. You know, we've got Goblin, the Archer, the Fina, the Unicorn. This time we're running Gourmet for the 3-drop because I think it's pretty good and that seems to be what other people like to run. We've also got the Red Riding Hood for the Evolve proc, which is really nice. Rabbit is of course for the draw power. Cinderella, because Cinderella's quite overpowered. The Angelic Slacker, good for a late game, well, mid game push. If you can play it on a 4 and you have 3, then you get pretty good value. Obviously Council of Card is really good, Alice really good, Albert also really good, and Command probably really good. But overall this deck is more aggro-y based. You do want to be whittling down your opponent as quickly as possible and getting into those last Albert card council and other such combos. So let's get right into the games. The first match is a Rune versus my Sword. We do pretty well. Pretty sure it was another D-Shift style deck. D-Shift seems to be the more popular rune right now, so that's not too surprising. But it also means any decent aggro deck will kill it pretty much straight away. So we can use that to our advantage a little bit. We start off with a pretty good hand. Getting all 2-drops ain't bad. Getting a 1-drop would be better. You're basically looking for any 1, 2, 3 combo. Even if you can't, you're looking for any 2-drops possible so that you can easily flood the board turn after turn. So they've returned the Goblin. Not a big issue. We'll just play Lyriel out. Play Goblin in the next turn along with the Red Riding Hood if we don't get another 2-drop play, which works out just fine. The double Albert as well is really good. It means we can put a lot of pressure on them turn 5 and then probably even turn 6 or turn 9 depending on how we want to use the Albert at the time. But the early pressure is pretty good. Once they play those Earth Sigils, I start to wonder whether it is D-Shift, but there has been some like Balls Rune variants and other sort of rune variants that are pretty crazy right now. Luckily though, Alice getting the value. Giving us a double boost. And allowing us to easily hit this rune player right into the face. Time 1 Mage of course coming down. Really solid way to clean up most of the board, but won't quite be enough. Once they do start using that for trades, I mean, unless they can wipe out the entire board, they really don't have much chance at a comeback, and with that, they pretty much seal the deal. We can easily drop Albert, put them to 1, and have them within range of another Albert, which when you have 3 of them, really isn't a problem. So, that will pretty much wrap up this rune game. Obviously the opponent does try their best to try and survive, but they don't do a great job. Pretty much just trying to wall me out, kill off what they can, thinking Flame Destroyer will save them. Ramming me as much as they possibly can, so that I don't have anything left to contest them. Fortunately though, the Sword deck does have a lot of ways of going for pretty good damage overall, so a Albert is completely fine for lethal. So game 2 is Haven, a Grandmaster Haven at that. So we're gonna have to, you know, work hard, get a good curve, and win by 6, I reckon. Or just as much as we can. Do love that Grandmaster card back. We'll have to work our way there. If you want to check me out working my way up to Grandmaster, definitely head over to the streams, or you can catch the streams when they go up on YouTube after they have happened, which is pretty good, so why not? Why not indeed? So, Unicorn Dancer turn 2, we have nothing else to play, and we want to curve out as best we can to go with the Cinderella. We don't really want the Rabbit Ears because we don't want 1 draw. Unfortunately, the Banish is a little bit of a pain, which kind of sucks, but we will do it. We also have the Alice drop for when we need it, which may be next turn if we draw into another neutral, which we do, another Alice, so we may as well go for the double Alice play. Take the trade while we're at it. Cinderella's trades are always nice because if I play Rabbit or Albert, then I quite easily get to pull Cinderella back to my hand. Unfortunately though, they do have another banish, which is a little bit of a pain. I mean, so many banishes, so little time. Next, I have to decide how I wanted to handle this Hound. Luckily, Goblin Breaker is actually okay. It does do 2 damage, and I get a 5... Is it a 5/6, I believe, once it's evolved with this? Or is it higher? Nope, I believe it stays the same. Okay, so it stays as a 5. No, it stays 5/6. Okay, cool. So we get the 5/6, which is a pretty tanky card, not the easiest thing to remove, which means they will have to use some materials to get rid of it, which is nice. Can't really go too wrong with that. Fortunately, we have the options, that card cancel being the perfect one to get rid of that 5/1. Leaving us with a couple of cards and a good Alice play. Not a perfect Alice play, but a good one. And all they do is try and block damage, so nothing too complicated there. Fortunately, Goblin as well, meaning we're going to get even more value from this Alice, which is ideally what you want with this deck. You want to aim for those value plays. Do use the Bane so I can get the ward at full health, just in case they play something that can burst through the ward. That way the Bane can kind of be a backup. Unfortunately, they do have a pretty nice hand here, being able to Gouda out the Beast Call and then use the Evolve point. Luckily though, that is wasting their Evolve point, so we now have advantage when it comes to that. And we're in a really nice spot. Fortunately, Unicorn plus a triple draw, thanks to Rabbit Ear, gets us a nice Actress. So I do decide to use the Evolve point on the Actress. I was going to save it for Albert for that 10 damage push, but this Actress play was way too good. Being able to trade with the 6/4, use the 5/6 and the 3/4, hit face for 8, and set up for next turn. The only real risk is a full Decree, which they don't seem to have, so they do play Curate, which makes things a little bit of a pain, I guess, again, but the Albert is a pretty easy lethal, giving us 6, 7, 9, 14 and 17 total damage, thanks to that board. The final match is against Dragon, so that's pretty cool. Haven't seen as many shadows lately, which is kind of weird. I expect a shadow to really take off a bit. Dragon has been doing okay, but doesn't seem to be anything too dominating, which is lucky. And other than that, it's been pretty mixed up meta, but I suppose we are still settling in. This video is made a little in advance, so I suppose once this goes out, the decks will probably settle a little more, but I don't see this Sword deck being bad necessarily. And Sword does tend to pick off a early meta, so you might want to get those games in while you can. So 1 into 2, nice and solid. We also have the 3-drop in the Gourmet if we get to play that out, which they do pass the first 2 turns, which is amazing for an aggro deck, being able to just fill up as much as possible. This game is pretty quick because we do have, like I said, that optimal aggro push. We also get Ultimate Carrot, which is an amazing little card when you're running such a neutral engine. Pretty much just play out everything. I mean, there's no real threat that they could have. Worst case, they play Rahab, and we pretty much kill it off instantly with the Goblin Breaker. I mean, they could probably trade into a couple things with a couple Blazing Breaths and Salamander, but that's a lot of removal to use on this board. So I go for the draw while I can, because I expect that a Salamander is probably going to come down next anyway, and try and set up lethal as best I can for this Aldua's Command. So getting in a total of 9 damage, putting them to 2, means they're right in command range. So all I need is for them not to play something big, which they don't. And we have a pretty easy match ahead of us. We can Aldua command the board and attack for lethal. Okay, so to round out this deck, I would say there is nothing I'd really change. I'm quite happy with how it performs. It does well. The Grimnir is a nice little one-of just to clear out late game boards if you have to push that far, or play it out as a 3-drop in the mid game or early game if you have no other option. Everything else in the deck though, I would leave alone. Maybe change Goblin Breaker for another different 4-drop, but there isn't that much good removal for swords, so Goblin Breaker does a nice little job on its own. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this deck. If you did, you'll find the deck list in the description below. You can hit that like button and subscribe for more content. You can check out my streams, which a link will be at the bottom of the description. You can find that there, and I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.